We got a $1,000 donation. Doctors Without Borders is such an important and amazing organization. Being able to help out and watch speedruns is a privilege, although they go towards Chrono Trigger 100%. Got a $50 donation from Comrie. I'd like to thank all the speedrunners for putting on such an amazing event and everyone involved for helping to donate money to Doctors Without Borders, a great cause. Got a $100 donation from Kako. Great event for a great cause. Keep it up, all of you, speedrunners and organizers. Thank you, Kako.
All right. All right, we ready? All right, let's get started.
Good luck, man.
Good luck, Aurilliux.
Hype for Earthbound. How you guys doing? So we'll be starting off here. I got the naming donations in. I actually had to do a little bit of manipulation at the start here to make sure everybody's stats at the beginning of the game is randomized. So I actually had to name everybody in a certain number of inputs. So that's all set. We're good to go there. You might be wondering why we had to name each character just one letter. That seems a little bit odd, perhaps, but that's actually also for the RNG manipulation we're going to be doing later. If the kids' names are more than one letter long, that actually throws everything off later on. So I can't have that. They got to be one letter long.
Yeah, like at the start of the game, whenever you do reset it, the RNG value of the game actually resets to 0. So you're free to do like whatever you want to with that. There's a lot of different stuff, like ways you can actually manipulate the RNG in this game, and everybody realistically can have a different, like their own route, but we kind of stick to one. But Aurilliux has made one to where it's really marathon safe, and it's like as little stressful as possible. So.
Yeah, I'll kind of try to point out where the difference is between what most of the runners do and what we'll be doing for the marathon here. But so far, other than just a little bit of difference in how we would start off the game by naming ourselves, it's basically going to be the same here for the first few minutes.
You'll also be seeing him like save the game at points and resetting just to restart the RNG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also have to pay attention to whenever you do RNG manipulation. Like you see little bits of movement that he does, and he'll be like opening and closing the menu at some points. At particular parts of the game, if you move in a different way, it will actually manipulate the RNG in a specific way. So you have to like for instance during this tree, he bumps against the tree to like I think it advances the RNG like forward or something like that, and then if you don't do that, you actually won't get that advance. So you have to pay extreme attention to that, or else it will not work. And all the sprites on the screen, they're going to move that way every single time, as long as you name the characters the way that Aurilliux has and have done the movement. So it's going to be the exact same thing every single time. So it's not like true RNG, because you can manipulate it perfectly every single time through really good execution, which Aurilliux has been doing so far.
So here we meet Pokey for the first time.
Yeah, everybody's favorite character. Mm-hmm. Pokey. Yeah, overall, this category, 80% glitched, is insanely execution heavy, versus glitchless, which is, based on it's got a good share of execution, but it has a ton of RNG, unlike this category, because mainly everything is manipulated by 95% of it.
Right, and as we go along, I'll point out the things that are still susceptible to randomness in this game.
Yeah. Let's get going.
Oh, wait, phone call.
It's a shame you never see your dad.
So after this phone call is going to be the first time I reset to put the RNG back to a known value. I don't think he explicitly says it, but after this phone call, he actually saves the game for you. So once I reload this, I'll still have the same save file.
That's so nice of him.
I know, right? It's so convenient. I know. Yeah, once again, the RNG value sets to 0 upon reset. So basically the way it works is that you're going to see that right there. Everything in this game pretty much can manipulate your RNG due to like a sprite moving on the screen, you making a cursor movement, you going into your menu. Like there's so many things that can manipulate your RNG, and like I said before, specific ways that you move in particular areas. Some areas in the game, like up here, the RNG is actually frozen, but some points, like during the walk up to the meteorite, you really have to pay attention, or else you will not get the result that you need to get. Like I said, it's really execution heavy, and it's very subtle, but like trying to learn this can be an absolute nightmare, because you can just mess up so much stuff, and you have no idea what you're doing wrong, so it is very skillful.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely part of the difficulty in trying to learn this, is that it's hard to tell exactly what you've done wrong if you don't actually have like the games torn apart where you can actually see the values that you're trying to change. And so while we're going through here, I'll be looking for certain key things that tell me that I'm probably still on track with the manipulation I'm trying to do. For example, in the lower left corner here, there's a snake on the screen, and I'm expecting him to show up there. So that's a pretty good indicator to me that so far I've done this first manipulation correctly.
Absolutely. Yeah, and once again, just all the little tiny things like him opening and closing, and the beep boops and everything. That's to advance the RNG forward to make sure that you're gonna get the result that you need to get.
All right, that walk past the trees there, I'm not sure if that was right. We'll find out once we get into the Starman fight.
Yeah, just like what he was saying there, it's just so tiny, like some tiny little mistakes that can just throw off everything. It's basically like butterfly effect.
So Buzz will always open with a PSI Shield Sigma here to stop you from dying.
Nice.
And he guarded, so it looks like I have the right thing, so we're going to keep going here.
There we go. Nice.
There you go.
All right. So it certainly doesn't look like much, right? It's a scripted fight. It's extremely difficult to lose that unless you pull some real shenanigans. But it's important that I do that fight in that very specific way because I need to make sure that the stats that I got at the end of that fight are exactly what I got. If I got something different, that could turn out very poorly for me later on. Again, kind of a butterfly effect sort of thing.
Yeah, he gets 2 offense at the end of the fight instead of 1, which will matter because that 1 point of offense can affect the ant cave later in the run. Like quite heavily. But again, it's all manipulated, and as long as you execute properly, you're going to get that every single time. So, like I said, it's mostly impressive whenever you do run the game and like learn how to actually manipulate the RNG, because it's like I said, it's just a nightmare trying to learn like every tiny little thing. It's a lot of work, but if you really like Earthbound speedruns, it's well worth it.
All right, so we're going to go through Buzz's little spiel here. Might be a good time for a donation or two.
All right, we have a $500 donation from SDFG. Everybody get hype for pressing B a very specific number of times. Good luck on the wrong, Nari.
Yeah.
I have a $200 donation from Meg. I've been waiting for this run all week. Fuzzy Pickles. We also have a $250 donation from Justin136. Earthbound Hype. Thanks for featuring my all-time favorite game. This donation goes to Runner's Choice. We have a $100 donation from Fate. All I'm saying is Aurilliux has a sweet Starman shirt. Keep up the good work, guys, and best of luck on the run.
All right, so this little part here, this isn't actually, I'm not manipulating this walk here. So what I'm doing is walking off and back onto the screen for these enemies here, and this unfortunate snake spawn that I'm going to have to stutter step past. So when you walk off screen and come back on the screen, the game doesn't have any kind of memory about what enemies are very far off screen. So when you do that, it'll just randomly decide whether there should be enemies there or not. So by walking back and forth on the side of the screen, you can actually get rid of enemies that way. The second trick I did there was stutter stepping, which I wasn't hoping to have to do quite yet, but so it goes. There are certain enemies in the game that have a very specific movement pattern. They only move while you're moving. But there's a slight delay before they actually start moving. So if you basically move for just a handful of frames and then stop moving, and you do that perfectly, the enemy won't move at all. And you can do that over and over to actually move without the enemy chasing you. Here I buy a T-ball bat. I'm also going to give the town map to myself just to rearrange my inventory. That'll be necessary for the next manipulation I do. I'm going to save the phone here, reset the game to put the RNG back to a known value. As soon as Dad tells me all done, I know he's done saving the game for me. And so this will be the second little manipulation that I do here to get through these fights way, way under-leveled and get the right stats that I need for later on.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy seeing this, how just everything works out. Because like Ari said, you're so low level, and you're just bulldozing through Frank. Like it's such a low level, it's impressive.
All right, so SDFG and his donation, which thank you for that, by the way. But this is going to be the first time we listen to pressing B a bunch of times. And that's to get a specific result in this fight.
He's definitely not kidding about that.
This one's a little less crazy. All right. The movement on this next little window here, walking out to Frank, is pretty tight. We'll see whether I get it or not. It's the timing on when I talk to Frank. I can talk to him both too early and too late, and the window is just a few frames wide. But it looks like I got the right one here. Yes.
Yep, there we go. He's gonna do it again on this guy.
Yeah. And that'll take care of him too.
That was easy, right?
Yeah.
So if you actually sit down and watch like a glitchless speedrun or even like the any percent glitched runs, you'll notice that there is certainly a difference here. I go and save at the drugstore here a few times, and that's basically for safety, so that if I make a mistake on one of these parts, I don't need to try to redo the first 19 minutes of the game or however long it might take. I only need to redo a small portion. But if you actually watch one of those runs, you'll see about 19 minutes and 20 seconds of perfect O-net manipulation.
Yeah. You literally have to play perfectly for this to work, you know? There's like little to no lenience in manipulating RNG. Like, you must play perfectly.
Yeah, one slight error, you have to reset everything.
Pretty much. There are some backup strats, and Aurilliux has a lot of those, but they're very, very limited. You can only back it up so much before it gets completely thrown off.
Yeah, it's very limited before it gets thrown off, and it's also for very specific circumstances. So I have a few backup routes for errors that I commonly make. That's partly why I have this binder of notes sitting here in front of me. That and I can't really memorize like the 20 rounds of combat versus Gygas that I'll be doing later on.
We have a $500 donation from that little iota.
Wow.
My fellow humans, you bring me joy, and through you, I can bring much needed aid. Good times, guys.
Yeah, like the manipulation for O-net was found like, what was it, like 2 or 3 months ago?
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah, just doing like glitchless runs and even glitch runs too, we weren't able to manipulate O-net in the fashion that we are now. And it's so nice because just even getting out of O-net was just a complete nightmare, because it's probably the section of the game where it has the worst amount of RNG. Just dealing with it, and you would have to like farm slugs and everything like that in the ant cave, and Frank was a nightmare too, and just a lot of different things.
So this part coming up right here, this is actually susceptible to a little bit of randomness. I've been manipulating this all along, but not this part. I'm going to fight this slug. He has a 1 in 128 chance of dropping a bomb, and hey, what do you know? I got a bomb.
Hey, wow,
Hey.
But
crazy.
It's these two slugs up here that might be the problem. They can actually pull where they're directly on top of each other, and I won't just instantly defeat them. I'll get into a fight with two slugs, and that's bad, and I would have to reset. But we don't have to worry about that this time.
How'd you get another bomb? That's crazy.
I know. I'm just so lucky. All right, now in my route up here, there's going to be two ants at the top of the screen. I actually need to stutter step past them so I don't get into a fight with them.
Very
And
nice.
then occasionally there's a mouse here as well. Doesn't look like he showed up this time. That's fine.
Yeah, in this ant cave, this is the majority of time that is saved versus not manipulating it, because you have to grind on the slugs until you get level 8, and that's the level that you get the PSI rockin', and that's how you would normally fight ant, because doing it without it's pretty difficult. So you save easily like 5 to 6 minutes just from having to not fight the slugs.
Also here with Ant, he's going to be pressing B the most times in his run.
Yeah. So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so he'll actually hit me here in the first round, but that's okay. I'm going to throw this bomb and do a crazy amount of damage, about the most this bomb can do then. Now this route, unfortunately, actually is just barely short when I throw 2 bombs at Ant. It won't quite kill him, so I have to do one more round here, and this is the crazy one.
It's a good 44 times.
It's a few.
So he'll try to defense down me here, but it won't work. The ants will life up each other. I guess they were worried for their own well-being. Their boss has got it, right?
Yeah, defense down is like actually a pretty useless attack. Like it doesn't actually lower your defense. So it's like a blessing before we actually manipulated Onet. You just had to pray that he would defense down you all day.
Right, he would defense down you. He might lower your defense by 1 and you take 1 more damage.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's quite a threat, you know.
So here we get the first melody we'll hear in the game. It's also the only melody that we're going to get in this run.
It's quite nice music. I love it.
Small cute puppy? Really, that's all you need. So now I'm going to come down here. There will be 2 ants at the bottom of this ledge, and I'm going to get in a fight with them.
So it's a bit faster if he just decides to die to the ants, so he can just get right back to the town.
Yeah.
Yeah, so using a death warp is a valid strategy in this game. When you die, the game just puts you back at your most recent save point, and it keeps track of all the progress you've made. So this will actually just send me right back to the drugstore where I saved last time, and I can save the game again. Because that ant fight can actually go kind of randomly. Sometimes they back attack me, sometimes it's just a regular battle. And so I reset one more time here before I go to fight Captain Strong and the cops.
Yeah, and actually getting a different swirl, because there's a green, a red, and a blue. Green is a preemptive on your end. A red is a back attack upon you. It's optimal to get a back attack there, because they'll basically knock you out faster. And then there's a blue, which is a normal battle, which is what he got into. And getting a different swirl can actually throw off the RNG, so you have to be careful of that as well.
All right, in this room, I'm looking for this undercover cop to walk down, left, and then up into Strong. So that's my cue here that makes me think that I probably have the RNG here as well.
This was yet another nightmare without manipulating it, getting past the cops.
And so that's a little trick you can use in this run as well. I actually used a little bit earlier against Frankenstein. But you can actually change the weapon that you're using in the middle of combat, and then you'll immediately take a swing with it as well. And it just lets me handle the random number generator in a slightly different way, makes it a little easier to get the result that I'm looking for.
We have a $5 donation from Tammy. Best of luck with the run, Ari. And I know you stole my last Coke.
Uh-oh. Thank you.
I mean, it does look pretty risky going into this fight without any, PP or armor. But like I said, it's all manipulated. So as long as he just does everything correctly, he will not have a chance of dying.
Right.
At all.
I already know what the outcome of the battle will be as long as I make these specific inputs.
Like I said before, there is little to no lenience. He must do everything perfectly, or else he'll have to resort to backup strats, which may or may not work.
And here we'll use a little mechanic of this game. Your HP rolls down once you've taken damage, and it takes you for a while to actually reach the amount of damage you've taken.
Very, very nice manipulation there.
So the core mechanic of the game is, as long as you can defeat your enemy before your HP ticks down to 0, the game actually hands the battle to you and leaves you at 1 HP, or whatever HP that you managed to end the battle at.
Which is really nice, versus like other RPGs where if you just take the damage, you die instantly. Whereas this game, it gives you a good amount of time before you can before you die, so you can have a chance to heal.
All right, so next up I'm going to be walking to Tucson and doing a little bit of shopping. It's probably another good time for some donations if we've got them.
Oh boy, do we do. We have a $100 donation from K-Head. Bound that Earth. Tie it to RNG manipulation. Also, host's choice. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. Had to donate again during Earthbound. Earthbound and Chrono Trigger were my 2 favorite RPGs as a kid, and I spent countless hours playing both. So extremely happy to see both during this marathon. Fuzzy Pickles hype. We have another $100 donation from Anonymous. Hey there, Convention Hall and Runners. You're cool too, announcer guy. Thanks for hosting this wonderful event yet again this year. We're getting pretty close to halfway to $1 million just through donations. So let's see if we can manage to get there this year for the first time in this marathon's history. Got a $50 donation from Rozinki. Been loving SGDQ this week, but just had to donate during Earthbound. My wife requires that you save the animals. I have a $100 donation from Revolving Dork, sending Earthbound love from Philly. Iwata would be proud to see you folks tear his code apart.
Yeah, unfortunately, he is not manipulating this particular part. This is susceptible to the randomness, so.
Yeah, so there will be enemies in my way and NPCs walking in front of me and all kinds of other wonderful good stuff that you'd have to deal with playing through this game normally.
You're pretty hungry there.
Yeah, strictly speaking, I only need, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 of these skip sandwiches. The rest of these are mostly just for safety, and some backup strats that I can also use skip sandwiches for. So I'll buy a little less than $400 worth of skip sandwiches.
Pretty high quality sandwiches.
Now, the skip sandwich is supposed to make Ness, skip, so he moves a little bit farther while he's walking along. However, you'll see why perhaps it's a more apt name for that sandwich there in a moment. I'm going to make a save here at the bus station. This is just for safety. There are 2 things that I'm worried about in the next part. On the upcoming glitch, I can actually, if I'm very unlucky, soft lock the game. I can wedge myself into a corner that I can't escape from. And there are also enemies that can spawn that are completely and utterly unavoidable and will probably ruin my day. So that's the first
nice.
cliff skip
Very nice.
there.
So the skip sandwich actually extends the movement frames for him, so he's able to actually wedge himself through there diagonally.
And magically, we get the music for Threed.
And so this last cliff is usually the hardest. Almost. No, it kicked me out. I just want to play nice today. Oh, my sandwich wore out that time.
Okay. It's feasible to do it without the sandwich, but it's like your hand's gonna get way too tired before you even get it.
Yeah. The first two are pretty feasible. The last one is, I don't know if I've ever gotten it without using a skip sandwich.
Yeah, I know I haven't. There's no way.
Oh,
Come on.
There we
There
go.
we
There
go.
we go.
All right, there we go. So that saves a little bit of time. You know, just going from 2 to 3. It's just a little bit of time.
So
Skip
there's a
piece for Rust Valley, you don't need Paula. And
Yeah.
there's no enemy right here, which was what I was worried about.
all right. It's like a 5% chance for like a ghost to actually be right there.
It wouldn't be too detrimental. I mean, you just have to reset and do that again. So it wouldn't be too bad.
Right. And I could give it a round or two. I mean, I could try to run away. It's not very likely, but I could give it a shot.
Yeah. This is pretty standard. Usually, when you enter Threed with Paula, you still have to go up here and trigger the zombies or whatever.
I got a
and
lot
then
of
you just
enemy
got to go back
spawns.
to the hotel. Yeah. This part is insanely laggy at times. Yeah. No good flies.
No good is right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is probably one of the laggiest parts in the entire game. There we go.
There we go. Yes.
But he still has the way back. He's still got to be pretty careful.
Yeah. That's the nice part about the glitched route, though. I actually have, since I bought a couple extra skip sandwiches, if I get
Nice.
into a bad situation, I can try to dodge enemies with
Yeah,
them.
it's skip sandwiches are one of the best items in the entire game. For that reason.
So now we're going to come meet this very nice lady.
I don't know if nice is the right word for that.
She brought you
maybe
to a
not.
party.
Ah.
Rest in peace.
Never follow strangers, people.
And so we wake up in this prison inn. Hey, who's that girl?
Yeah.
So we get this little cutscene here, and okay, I don't know you, and now she's gone. Okay, fair enough. Never mind. I was just seeing things. So the game doesn't do any kind of common sense check here to see if Paula's actually in your party. So she'll make the prayer for me anyway, even though she's not in the party.
Right, yeah.
And this will send us on to the whole Threed sequence. Sorry, Winter's sequence.
This is probably one of my favorite parts in the entire game as a kid.
This music right here.
Yeah, this
excellent.
I love this music so much. It's great. And this part will not be manipulated to an extent. He'll be able to manipulate it later during this part, but the first 5 minutes of this he will not be able to manipulate because he's going to get a party member called the Bubble Monkey, and the Bubble Monkey's movements, I'm pretty sure you can't manipulate it. It's pretty random.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
We'll give it a try later on.
Yeah.
Usually I can get it for, I would say a few seconds, but to get it all the way through is very rare.
Yeah, because there's a part later where he's going to have to despawn a bunch of enemies, and it's not likely for him to get through without any enemies. So he's going to have to despawn in quite a bit, which can add up to a ton of time.
But for the glitched run here, it's actually almost identical to glitchless until
Yeah.
I actually get into hopefully my first fight, which will be against a worthless protoplasm.
Oh, man. Yeah, here it's just he tricks you. He's going to give you the key that he thinks opens the door, but he's just like, oh, I knew that key wouldn't work. So he gives you the actual item that will open the lockers.
Yeah, the bad key machine. It opens more than just lockers, thankfully.
Yeah. Coincidentally, it just happens to be a super useful item later.
We have a $500 donation from Anonymous. Aurilliux, thanks for setting the hook for me to get into this community. So this donation is runner's choice. Keep up the good work. See you for games Monday?
Ooh.
You spend $1 to get a monkey. I think that's a bargain. And you can blow bubbles in the float. It's pretty cool. Yeah, see, as you see, Bubble Monkey, he can fall behind at times. He's actually going to be doing another trick during a tiny dungeon. Yeah, like here. You can't manipulate it. Just Bubble Monkey's movements is too random. But he'll actually be doing another skip during this mini dungeon that'll be happening here in a few minutes. That is actually based on the Bubble Monkey's movement, whether you can get it or not.
Yeah, so
it's pretty hype when you get it.
Yeah, hopefully he plays nice.
Yeah.
And so here, there's a little quirk of the route. First off here, you get a prayer to Ness because this is the first time you've slept since defeating Captain Strong, and normally the game would give you the prayer from Paula there. And then you get a second prayer, the one that's actually meant for Jeff. So you get 2 prayers here. And you also fix the defense spray. You pretty much always fix that.
Yeah. In the glitchless route, you actually sell that for money later. And he is going top route here to avoid a photo. So no fuzzy pickles. Sorry to disappoint.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. And again, he cannot manipulate any of this part until much later as he gets out of the mini dungeon here.
So we'll take a short little ride on Tessie. Mm-hmm. These donations are pretty awesome so far, I'd have to say.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot more. We got $100 from Andy Perfect.
Nice.
May Pooh die at precisely the right time against Gygus. Good luck, Ari. We have a $50 donation from Seth Rott. Had to donate to a great cause and a chance at the Earthbound cart. Good luck, and this is announcer's choice. $200 from Avenger339. I'm sorry I can't donate a wad of bills or a diamond found in the mine. I did lose my shirt at a solitaire tournament. But please have some of my green. Oops, I'm new to this. We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. This year, the best way I can contribute to this great cause is by donating. I am too a speedrunner, and on my free time, I hope that one day I can help, like you guys, raising more money for a charity in a GDQ marathon. Money goes to Chrono Trigger 100%. Earthbound hype!
Hype! There we go.
There you go.
Okay. So he'll actually be going diagonally down left. There's a specific reason for that. It's because whenever you do that, there's a chance for enemies to spawn at the bottom of there, and that pretty much guarantees that you will not get an enemy there. So that kind of saves a little bit of time there.
Yeah, there's a goat that will never go away.
That goat's a nightmare. It is way too much. Well, you can open the present there before you fight it?
Yeah, if you time the check just perfect, you'll actually open the present. It doesn't do anything extra.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool. Okay.
I learned that one from Felix. Shout-outs to him. He's awesome, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the bottle rocket actually played nicely for you here.
Yeah, so this was potentially one of the worst fights in the game. This was a random fight. The issue there is that the Worthless Protoplasm can call for help, and Jeff is level 1. So as soon as there's a second enemy in that fight, it will go downhill very quickly.
Yeah. No duck skip today.
No duck skip today. That's very
there's like a slight actually not a slight, like a super rare chance that you can actually skip this duck. It doesn't save a ton of time, but it's one of those things that's like super hype when you get it, because it almost never happens.
I've only seen it like maybe once
Yeah,
or twice.
I've had it 2 times out of like all the time I've been running this game, which is probably about a year now. So
Bubble Monkey
no
stood
present
still
skip.
there,
Yeah.
forcing me to get into this extra fight.
Present skip, that's what he could have had if Bubble Monkey did cooperate there. Basically what you do is you go down on that wedge there, and the present pretty much, like the way they pretty much can only move one direction, just based on your positioning. So he can only move like straight horizontally there, and he can actually dodge it, but once again, Bubble Monkey didn't cooperate, so he unfortunately got into the fight there.
He wants to try to avoid as many fights as he can with Jeff because he doesn't want Jeff to gain too much experience.
Yeah, he does need a particular stat. I believe it's based on his speed. That if it's not a certain value, he can't perform the prick manipulation. Yeah, here is the manipulation that he's going to try to end up doing.
All right, that'll get us in the front door. Let's see how far we can take this.
Ooh, very nice.
Excellent.
Very nice.
That's looking
Not
good.
done yet. Hit rapid fire, man.
That's all it's got to be.
Yeah, would be the best. Yeah, that's not the most consistent manipulation, but unfortunately he did get it, and that saves, I want to say about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Potentially. Nice. Yeah, those mushrooms can be quite a nightmare. But that does save a ton of time, like upwards of probably about 2.5 minutes. Because ideally you don't want to fight anything, and that'll keep Jeff's speed stat at the value that it needs to be in order for him to do the correct manipulation later. And here he's not trying to manipulate it. He just needs to get past this part,
Right.
Because he will be saving at Andonut's lab, which is like one of my favorite characters in the Earthbound game in total. But yeah, he's going to be saving after this talk here, because he's gonna. This is where the game gets crazy,
Yeah, this is where
to say the least.
This is where glitchless and the glitch versions of the runs will really start to diverge.
Absolutely.
We have a $128 donation from Anonymous. Playing Earthbound helped me get through a really tough time when I was a kid. I hope games and their runners keep helping people for many years to come.
Yeah, and him walking up actually does matter. While he just got in the Skyrunner, because if he didn't, that would have thrown off the RNG that he needs for this particular time.
Yeah, I'm going to set up for a very specific battle once Jeff rejoins the party in 3, and then I'm going to try to execute a glitch after that. And if I do it just wrong, we may actually have to see this cutscene again. Hopefully we won't have to.
Yeah. Whenever you do glitched runs, this part can be a really severe time loss, just because this cutscene is so long. So if you fail the manipulation, you got to watch it all over again, and because there's no save point from here to where he needs to do the manipulation. So like this is where the run can die, because if you fail at one time, it's just you lose too much time.
I believe it's, 3 minutes and 30 seconds for each failure?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
roughly,
it's a huge cutscene, man. But you do get to see a lot of the maps, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, from a gameplay perspective,
Yeah.
I mean, you get to see all these places that you haven't been yet, but
Yeah.
later get to visit, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah. This category is like so much different from glitchless. Like In this category, it's RTA, which is real-time attack, versus glitchless, which is single segment. Single segment, usually they don't allow resets. In this category, you pretty much have to reset because there are parts later in the run that I'm not sure even how you would get past, like Magicant, for example. I'm not even sure how you would get past that part without manipulation because they're just such low level. He's trying to find his way here.
Yeah, Skyrunner's closing in.
That's so silly, man. He's about there.
He's getting ready to land
Yeah.
right now.
10 out of 10 landing, by the way. And
Safe execution.
absolutely. It's okay. Everybody's alive.
So I guess Paul is back with us again. Surprise.
Yeah.
With the teddy bear.
With the teddy bear. That wasn't there before, but magically appears.
And disappears again. I love that. Where does it go?
So
once
the
again,
teddy bear is actually a huge problem, and he's going to have to get rid of it.
Yeah. This part is going to be some manipulation here, so I'm going to let him focus and do everything perfectly.
All right, so I'm going to come out here, stand by this gravestone, right about there, and put my back to these zombies.
Triggering a red squirrel, which is necessary for this.
He hits Jeff, the other one will laugh about it, that's good. I get a hit on Paula, and this one is one of two things. It's a hit on Ness. I've got a route for that, so that's okay. I'll get it cold here. This is crucial.
Yeah.
There are only 2 movements. And then I try to use audio cues to time this just right.
Yeah, this is a pretty precise trick here.
And this will be close. All right.
Nice. So he completely went out of bounds here. Nothing out of the ordinary, by the way. So he has the code. What that's going to do is he's going to, he's going to copy the file real quick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to make sure I do that.
Yeah.
All right, and see if we can get this one. This one is very tough. It's not like some kind of frame perfect or something like that trick,
Yeah.
but it's very tight. All right.
Yeah.
So I think I can actually get a little bit more room if I reload that save and save just a couple pixels over to the right, and that will probably make the difference that I need to get this one.
Yeah, so that previous trick that he just did, if you actually enter stairs as you're being interrupted by a text message that says oh, you're getting a pizza or you're getting a code, magically it will just force you out of bounds for whatever reason. So we take advantage of that. And the whole point of the manipulation is to get that code so that, if you see if he gets it here, very nice. It should be.
No,
Nope.
I took one too many steps that time.
But the whole point is so we can go out of bounds again, and he needs to be at a certain HP as well. This is pretty tight though.
Yeah, even the world record run for this has to make more than
Yeah,
one
yeah,
attempt.
he does actually have to do a couple tries. That's a good point. This is another benefit of buying multiple skip sandwiches as well.
That's good.
Very nice, very nice.
There we go.
So, just walking on water, it's fine. You're walking on water, no big deal. It's Oh, and also, so he opened the sound stone because whenever you do get out of bounds, you need to either pull up your town map or the sound stone, just like what he's doing here. And because when you're out of bounds, the maps don't load correctly. And what pulling out the sound stone or pulling out the map does is actually resets everything. So that way he can actually enter the area here and then get into the underworld.
So there are two things that I need to do before I can actually just go fight Gygus and try to beat the game. The first one is falling down that hole that I just fell down. And then while I'm down here, I'm going to pick up a couple items that are going to be useful later on in this run. The other thing that I need to do is defeat Ness's Nightmare, which is the next place that we're going to be going.
Which is one of the hardest parts in the entire run because it's heavily manipulated. And there's like little to nothing that you can do to back it up besides try again. And also, you'll note that he made a duplicate of his file there. And that's because he's actually going to be using that file later so we can continuously go out of bounds. And I'm not going to quite spoil it yet of why it happens, but he will be using that file much later, throughout the entire run, actually.
Alright, so I got that Horn of Life. I'm going to use that to resurrect Paula here in a little bit. I'm going to use another Death Warp to leave here, if I can find an enemy. Put me in, coach.
Yeah, he's going to purposely die here so we can go back to the title screen.
Got him!
You got one damage. You had a chance.
Close.
Yeah.
Alright, so that'll put us back in Summers. And now I'm going to take a short little walk over here to get the player name incentive.
Right.
And all I have to do for that, there's a guy in here, he would give me a phone number, but I don't really need that. So I'm just going to walk right back out the
Yes,
door.
the Stoic Club, whatever that is.
You get a phone call from Tony, he's looking for Jeff, but we're not Jeff.
Yeah.
Just put the receiver close to his ear, he'll hear.
While you guys are putting the name, I thought it'd be really specific to say this person's donation because it's a $1,000 donation.
Wow.
From Mofro. It says, this donation is made in memory of Satoru Iwata. Without him, Earthbound would have never been the incredible game we get to watch and break during SGDQ this year. Iwata-san, you will always have a place in the hearts of Earthbound, Kirby, Pokemon, Nintendo, and gaming fans the world over. We thank you for your innumerable contributions to video games and your love for the gaming community. You're a true inspiration to anyone wishing to pursue their passion and make their dreams come true. Please put this donation directly towards A Link to the Past 100%. I hope it's a great Earthbound run. Mofro.
All right, so what I did there real quick is resurrect Paula with that Horn of Life that I picked up not too long ago. I also threw out her teddy bear. There's a fun little glitch that happens if you don't get rid of her teddy bear later on, and it will soft lock the game. So we're trying to avoid that. Here, I need to walk out of this door, and I'm going to go stand on these stairs. And I'm going to get one of 3 RNG values, and we're going to see which one I get, and I have to respond accordingly. So this NPC walks up and then back down. So to account for this, I'm always going to get the same thing when I reload the save, but not necessarily the same thing between different runs, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do here to work around that is load up the second save file, wait around for a second, take a tick of cold damage, and resave the game.
It's one of those billion things about this game that can, advance the RNG.
And so you saw the first version of the stairs glitch earlier. We're going to do the second version here. So Ness is at really low health and he has a cold and he's just going to stand out here on the beach in summers. Maybe that's not the best idea.
It just...
Do I want to keep playing? Nah, no, I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah, so interesting property. If you die on the stairs, and you load a different save file, out of bounds.
Yep.
Magic.
Yeah, it's literally.
The game forgets to reset a flag that stops you from clipping against walls, so you can just walk wherever you
No
want.
idea. Just
It's going through places.
yeah. So that's like a really good reason why he got the cold and was at really, really low HP before, because that way he doesn't have to wait around for him to die so long. So it's just, at 5 HP and it's relatively quick. So
And we're already at Magic Hand.
yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing, man, honestly.
How did you
But-
do it?
Yeah. But yeah, this is one of the hardest parts of the manipulation in the entire run, because you only pretty much have one shot from the place that he was at. So it's just tons of manipulation. You also have to be wary of your movement too. So this takes a ton of practice.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we had to make more than one attempt here. But so far, it seems okay.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. Awesome event. Earthbound always brings back a lot of great memories. Keep it up, guys. What you're doing is amazing. Money goes to Runner's Choice. I have another $200 donation from Kid Redgrave. I'm a dungeon, he's a dungeon, she's a dungeon, we're a dungeon. Wouldn't you like to be a dungeon too? Be a dungeon. Mash B a whole lot. Good luck with your run and Earthbound hype.
So far, everything's going perfectly smoothly here.
Yeah.
And so, for the most part, I've been trying to keep enemies from spawning. However, I can't actually stop these Krakens from spawning. They're always down there. What I can affect is where they spawn. So I can put them in really convenient spots so that I don't have to fight them, hopefully. And this looks good so far.
Yeah. And fighting a Kraken would pretty much be an instant reset.
Yeah.
Because you can, at that point, the RNG is not, what it needs to be.
All right, let's see what I get. That's good. I really wanted to use rocket.
Yeah,
but maybe
I could see that.
it worked out anyway.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. That's literally all perfect play. He did not make a single mistake during any of that, and like I said, there's no lenience. So if he made even one slight tiny error, he would have had to reset and try all that stuff again.
So he basically manipulated Ness's nightmare to basically attack itself and end its own life.
Yeah, it uses Flash B, right?
Its Glorious Light Attack is the same as a Flash Omega, and I think it's like a 5 in 8 chance of a one-hit KO. And so we use Paula's Prayer to confuse him, so he uses it on himself.
Yeah. He's got a tiny bit of EXP, so he's leveling up for quite a bit here.
Yeah, we got about 3.5 minutes of this.
What level were you at? Like 9 or something?
Ness was 9, Paula
Yeah.
was 1.
Yeah. Nothing out of the ordinary. Beating Ness's Nightmare at level 9. It's okay.
Might be a good time for donations.
Yep.
All right, we got a $150 donation from Andrew S200. This is for my sister Vanessa. I'll never forget how much time we spent playing Earthbound together. I'll come to inside. $1 to each time my Casey bat missed. I have a $100 donation from Ravage Talon. Hi everyone, I always love the GDQ marathons and I'm glad to give to a great cause. Shout outs to all the runners, the host, and hope to see you again at MagFest. We have a $50 donation from Professor Ness. I doubt this is a wait 2 minutes % run, so there's only so much I can add. Could I argue that it's your best interest to save the animals so the sprites don't hold a grudge against you in a future play? I have a $50 donation from Miss Mage to kill the animals or to save the animals. It's not really that interesting of a question. Let's work towards more better runs instead, and going towards LTTP 100%. I also got a $100 donation from Jason Schreier. SGDQ rocks. Shoutouts to all the Kotaku readers watching. Thank you, Grumpus, for your $50 donation. Thank you so much for running Earthbound this summer. Best game. $50 from Emperor Khufu. Hey guys, great job with the run so far. Looking forward to even more coming up. Also, this is Summer Games done quick, not Summer Games done slightly slower to save some ungrateful animals. This $50 is going to kill the animals. P.S. Poor Buzz Buzz. Anonymous, thank you for your $50 donation. Good luck on the run, Aurilliux. One of my favorite games, even though you're destroying my childhood. So thanks for that. Shout out to Caleb. Just try not to wreck the couch.
I'm sorry about that, man. That's what I do. Wreck couches.
$50 from Mr. Magnificent. Love the event, love the cause, love the frames. Kill those animals. Thank you, Endodo, for $50. I'm so excited for this Earthbound run. This level of RNG manipulation is unreal. Good luck, Aurilliux. PK hype.
Hype. Hype. Hype.
I have a $100 donation from Willy Kit. This is my 3rd year watching GDQ events. They're always such fun, inspiring events. So glad to be able to donate this time. Keep up the good work and save those animals. I have a $50 donation from NK. I had to donate during Earthbound/Mother because my mother loved the Soundstone melody, and it always reminds me of her. Putting this donation towards Chrono Trigger 100%, another one of her favorites.
As you can see here, Ness gets extremely overpowered due to those level ups. He becomes, it's absurd. Like, it's impossible for you to die at this point. Also, you might be asking why we don't just go straight to the end of the game. There are like flags in this game that you must like complete in order to not soft lock the game as you're beating the final boss. Like Many Statue, for example, you have to beat him. You can't beat the game without a soft locking at the end. So we have to pretty much bypass those flags. So that's one of the requirements.
All right, so we got a new party member. Pooh showed up. Surprise. We're also in a place we've never been before.
I'd say Pooh's my favorite out of all 4, probably.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
It's pretty awesome.
All right, so I'm going to check real quick. I just want to double check Pooh's stats because they are kind of random. And it's actually possible if his stats were completely random, they would be low enough. I'm going to talk to him twice here. It's possible the stats would be so low that I wouldn't be able to use my manipulation route against Gygus. And I would be in a really, really bad way for that fight. But it looks okay, so we should be good to go.
Well, that's disappointing.
And so we've been out of Onet, if I had to guess, probably about an hour or so. Before I leave, actually, there's a little quirk here. I have to walk out and back into this door in Saturn Valley. Otherwise, I won't be able to teleport back later because the game thinks I've never visited this place before.
Yeah. You have to technically visit a place, even if it's just for a second, and they'll appear on your teleport list. But yeah, like you said, if you don't actually load the place manually, it won't appear there. So it's kind of important that he does that.
Him forgetting that would just basically end his run.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
I could fix it for the sake of the marathon, but it would take like 10 to 15 minutes. And so they told me to go get that meteorite piece from Onet. So I teleported to Winters. You're probably expecting by this point some kind of shenanigans to occur, and you would be right.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't be which percent without him. Yeah, so once again, he's going to faint on the stairs and just reload the other file so he can go out of bounds again. And the reason he went to Winters is to make it a bit faster, traveling from the Winters shop to where he needs to go, which is the Onet.
It's a little bit faster and way, way safer.
Absolutely. Because you don't have to run into a bunch of enemies.
Yep, flying through everywhere
Yeah,
again.
it's okay. Yeah.
Normal day.
Just gonna pass through like every part of the map.
Yeah. Earthbound's map is laid out in just like one giant sprawling map inside the game's like data.
Yeah.
And so just by knowing like where all these different places are in like the game's memory, I can just walk right to them. Then I reload the area by using either a sound stone or the town map, and I just appear where I want to appear.
It's a bit faster to use the town map, so you don't like see the animation or whatever. It's just pretty instant.
He also RNG manipulated it early on, so there was no spawns when he was walking from the shop.
Yeah, that's one benefit of the slightly slower route where I had to reset and take a tick of damage there. The bright side is that there were no spawns that I needed to worry about.
So you give him the meteorite piece, and he just gets to work, man.
Do a little bit of inventory management here. I need to equip that bat I got earlier, and I need to make sure the brain food lunch is in exactly the spot you saw it.
Yep. So an item abuse switch that he's going to use later. Basically, the item abuse glitch is it's a glitch where you can infinitely use a particular food item in your inventory, but it can only be done in battle. Basically, the way it works is if you have a condiment or something that you can put on the food item before you actually use it in combat, as long as the food item that you intend to use is after the listed items before you use it, it will not actually use, like in this case, the brain food lunch. It'll actually use the secondary item that was put on top of it. So you can keep using those. And in this route, he's only going to get one brain food lunch.
Yeah. I only need to use one brain food lunch in this route as long as everything stays on the rails.
Yeah.
If like Pooh's HP was too low and I had to try to do this fight the old-fashioned way, I'll call it, without any kind of manipulation,
Yeah.
then I would go pick up a whole bunch of salt packets and use those. And basically, as I eat these brain food lunches, it just takes away the salt packet instead.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah,
Thankfully, Pooh's stats are okay, so I don't need to worry about that part too much. It's just the location of the brain food lunch when I'm trying to menu perfectly later on in this fight against Gygas.
Yeah, I used to do the fight the old-fashioned way back like 2 years ago whenever I did this any percent route.
And so we're getting ready to get sent back in time here. It's a short little cutscene. Probably have time for a handful of donations.
All right, we have a $200 donation for Brouhaha. Shout out to the organizers and a great job for running the SGDQ. Always entertaining to see the runners do their thing. Though I was never a Nintendo kid, it's clear the massive impacts Satoru Iwata made on the video games. Rest in peace, Iwata-san. Thank you so much, Ocarcius, for your $30 donation. Hello from the Earthbound community. We are all hanging out watching you together. Good luck on the run. May Gaia's final attack not destroy the stream. Kappa. We have a $100 donation from a banana saying, I am a banana. Thank you, Evan222, for your $50 donation. Aurilliux is a wizard. Can you RNG Buzz back to life? Good luck on the rest of the run. We have a $20 donation from Nightshade. Thank you for the event. We look forward to Games Done Quick every time. Shoutouts to the host, Aurilliux, and some other speedrunners such as Aquas. Great job, Aquas, on that Ghouls and Ghosts run Monday. Donation goes towards Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga Glitch Showcase. $50 donation from Anonymous. Earthbound was a big part of my childhood, and it's so awesome to see it run for a great cause. Fuzzy Pickles and donations to the runner's choice.
So this is the final manipulation that he's going to end up doing. We're at the Cave of the Past now, but he must go out of bounds one more time. Because realistically, he could fight the enemies, but, one, you can't do that with the manipulation, and two, it'd be a lot slower. So what he's going to do is, bypass all those enemies and go straight to Gygas.
Not to mention all of those enemies are still very, very strong. Ness is fairly overpowered, but the rest of the party doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And once again, those inputs that he did as part of the manipulation, so he must do that.
So we'll do a little moonwalk in here. And now we're walking into different areas, and as you walk around as a robot, the game still wants to make a sound. So you get little bloops instead of robot noises.
This is such fitting music for this place. It's great.
Oh, this is the best one.
And this door is actually in a weird spot. It's actually on the left side of that frame there. It's not actually dead center. If I walk dead center, I would walk clear through the door. I don't know why that is.
Yeah, in some cases where you do RNG manipulation and you have to enter a door, it does matter which side of the door that you do enter it on, or else it will throw off some stuff. Fighting, I guess, at level 38.
Normal run.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't see anything wrong here.
You got this, dude.
Seems legit.
You got this.
So we'll figure out very quickly in the first round whether I've still got my RNG manipulation going or not. And if not, I'll just reset and have to give it another try. Because there's no any kind of tell along the way. None of those really exist. So I just have to find out in the first round. Alright, so this looks right. Jeff will take lethal damage here.
Yeah, and Glitchless, seeing Rock and A during this fight is amazing. Because Rock and B will pretty much, it can end your run very easily.
And here I actually need to tap very quickly. This is what Andy was talking about when he donated about Pooh dying at the right time. And that looked like the right time. And I got a smash, which means yes.
Very nice. I must say the music is pretty hype at this point. Like you wouldn't expect a soundtrack like this, like during this fight, after hearing all the music in the game. It's pretty awesome. Once again, during this fight, he will have to keep reapplying the shield so Paula can stay alive. As well as literally making no mistakes with any of this.
Yeah, if I make a single menuing error here, I'll have to reset and start the whole thing over.
Dunzo. In the glitchless route, you would actually use Jeff to use bottle rockets against this final fight here, but you don't actually have those in this route, so you must manipulate your way through it.
And so for this first part, we paralyzed Pokey just because he happens to be susceptible to it, and then us has enough HP to take those PSI rocking attacks. Meanwhile, Paula can put up a shield and survive. For the next two phases, I'm going to be abusing a combination of the solidifies from PSI freeze and the roughly 1 in 6 chance that Gygus will just choose not to attack on his turn. Also a little glitch there.
We have a $50 donation from Fence Dude, first time donator, donating because I've never seen Earthbound broken this thoroughly. Save those animals.
And here he has to use the brain food lunch.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, where it has to be in that exact spot.
Yeah. Yeah, in the old route, you would have to buy, like, 6 or 7 salt packets, because you didn't actually manipulate this fight. So you would have to abuse the brain food lunch glitch.
All right, and this should be the end of phase 2.
Very nice. It's not quite done yet. Even though this is the easiest part of a normal run, where all you do is pray, keep in mind that he doesn't have the C pendant or the Franklin badge or any of those items to make him safe. For instance, like in the glitchless run, you pretty much just pray and you're pretty much safe here. But he does not have any of those items, so he still needs to play perfectly.
Again, pretty much, if I was just trying to do this without any kind of manipulation, I would only be relying on the roughly 1 in 6 chance that guy chooses not to attack on his turn.
Yeah,
and that's really not a place you want to be.
I have no way. This is a long sequence of cutscenes, so if you want to read off donations.
Yeah.
Sure.
Go
I got a $250 donation from CD Mustang. It's a nice to experience the nostalgia watching the run. 100% to the Chrono Trigger 100% run. Earthbound hype. Got a $100 donation from Anonymous. First time watching GDQ live. Keep up the great work on the Earthbound run. Hoping to see all of A Link to the Past. We have a $20 donation from Bruce Cinnamon. Every time Earthbound is on stream, it warms my heart. And Caleb on the couch reminds me of that friend on the football team that played Dungeons and Dragons with you. So it also warms my heart. More money for more RPGs. Chrono Trigger 100%.
So I just double tapped the right button there when I came down. Sometimes battles converge, so I'm going to just take a chance here and see if I get the right result. But I didn't, so I'm going to have to do that over.
Yeah, see, it's a crazy time loss, and absolutely the hardest part about the entire run, because you have to manipulate for about 15 minutes straight, and one little tiny error like he did, that's enough to just force a reset.
And it's crazy, an error just as small as that makes you have to start all the way over, but
Yeah.
We have a $100 donation from Master Massar. Earthbound was my first RPG and is still one of the greats in my book. This glitch run is crazy amazing. Keep it up, guys. Also, let's save those nights, Muncha. Thank you, Cranberry, for your $60 donation. I just had to donate during the Earthbound block. My husband and I both have separate but wonderful memories playing this game as children. $15 donations from North Rivers. Shout outs from the donation table to all the awesome donators that have kept me busy during the Earthbound run. Thank you, Time Lost, for your $50 donation. First time catching this event. Awesome job to all the runners. 100% chrono for the win. Brian also donates a $50 donation. Wow, Earthbound was one of my favorite games growing up, and seeing it broken so severely is a treat. Your run is bringing back all my memories to the terrific music, psychedelic backgrounds, and awful scratch and sniff stickers that came with the strategy guide.
I still got those.
Ginger Wolf also sends a $50 donation. I cannot grasp the true form of Aurilliux Speedrun, that RNG manipulation. Thanks for running one of my favorite games of all time. If it wasn't for Iwata saving the day, we might have never seen the release of this amazing game. Hopefully one year we will see a Mother 3 run. So keep up the great work. Put this $50 towards Runner's Choice. Have a $140 donation from Sherry. What a great way to raise money for such a great cause. Shoutouts to James. We know you're watching. Enjoy. We have a $60 donation from Logan217, needed to donate after seeing that sick mosaic. Save the frames, kill the animals.
All right, so again, we'll see in the very first round here whether I got it twice in a row. All right, that looks good.
We have a $50 donation from Brawlman, donating during Earthbound run because I love this game, and I'm excited to see what's gonna happen. I love AGDQ, and I hope everything goes well. Good luck, everyone. Mr. Pilgrim, thank you for your $55 donation. The Mother series is one of the only Japanese RPG series that I've been able to play to completion. I'm hyped to see one of my favorite games get destroyed by a pro. Also put this morning towards the Luigi Mansion speedrun race, since Luigi's Mansion is another one of my favorite games that I've played countless times. And save the animals. Got a $100 donation from Daniel138. Saw a few speedruns ages ago and got hooked. Love what you guys are doing. It is a great cause. Keep up the great work. $100 donation from Arcananix. I love Earthbound, and this run is amazing. Putting this towards Luigi's Mansion 100%. Don't forget, guys, that this is still your last chance to put in those donations to go to those lovely prizes. Donating $5 will get you a chance to win a few amount of items. One would be an Earthbound bag, an Earthbound NES reproduction cartridge, or a Mr. Saturn plushie, as you can see on the couch right there. And if you donate $15, you will get your chance at an Earthbound card. And I know loads of people want their hands on that.
It's like one of the rarest Super Nintendo cartridges out there.
Yeah, like the cheapest is probably like 180 on eBay.
Yeah, it's
It's insane.
fortunately my brother kept the cartridge throughout all our lives, so it was pretty nice.
Got an anonymous $30 donation. Loving this entire thing. All the runs are great. Glad to support a great cause, even if it hasn't negatively impacted my work productivity. Also, kill those animals. Got a $100 donation from Nat C. My mom just handed me her credit card and told me to donate. Put this towards Blind Them All Blue Run, if that is already cleared. I love everyone currently in the room. Heart.
All right, so we'll see phase 2 again here. And that same glitch again.
We have a $50 donation from Jared Herbert. Earthbound was one of the first games I played. The nostalgia is real. A great run here from Aurilliux and excellent commentary from Caleb. If you haven't played this game, please consider it. One of Satoru Iwata's and Shigesato Itoi's best creations.
I have to agree. It's a crazy game, and if you don't understand what's going on, that's perfectly normal. It's just the nature of this game. You have to play it to understand.
I mean, even if you do play it, you're still going to be confused, so there's
Yeah.
no guarantee.
I know I still am at times.
I'm not gonna lie, as many times as I've speedrun this game, I couldn't tell you the story. I honestly couldn't. I have no idea.
Just got to play through it a few dozen times to be able to explain it.
Yeah, pretty much. But the Earthbound community is really, really, really strong. It's just one of those games that if you've played it, you more than likely love it to death. And the Earthbound community is just so attached to this game. It's really nice.
Everyone in it is amazing.
Yeah. Like for instance, the the donation comment a while back was making a ton of Earthbound references.
Yeah.
All right, so we're pretty much back to where we were.
This is the salty run back.
We have a $50 donation from your arch rival. This is my second year watching SGDQ and first time donating. I just had to donate during the Earthbound run since it was one of my favorite games growing up, and I'm excited to see it done quickly. Love what you guys are doing, so keep up the good work. Thank you, Lapis, for your $50 donation. Loving this year's lineup. Here's $50 for the Chrono Trigger 100% run, and the 2 runners got me into speedrunning, Wexel and Essentia. Go fast.
All right, this round, I'm actually going to take a hit here from Gygas. This is expected. And he'll use the equivalent of a flash attack, and it will paralyze both of my party members. But that's perfectly okay. I can be paralyzed and still pray.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's as long as you can pray, it's all right.
And so here are these guys. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
We never meet them in this run, but
She's just praying to them, though. She's like, hey,
Yeah.
can you please help
I'm
us?
gonna pray to those guys that I've never met in my life, but if you could help us, that'd be great. Thank you.
They seem like safe, trustworthy people.
Yeah, they look pretty friendly.
We have a $200 donation from Tea Pocket to the Apple of Enlightenment.
yeah, guys, these are some really awesome donations.
Yeah. Tons of Earthbound references.
This is the Polestar Preschool. We just walked past it, but this is where Paula's parents are.
Yeah. It's like the preschool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the random cat just always sleeping on the roof. There's not too much manipulation as far as like inputs, but once again, he needs to make sure to do everything absolutely perfectly, or else he's gonna have to reset again.
Yeah. And there's still one trouble spot outside of just making a mistake. And I'll point it out when we get there.
Got another $50 donation from Jade23. Thank you for breaking my favorite game. $50 from Kane. You guys are amazing. Wish I could give more. Thank you all for your hard work. $55.55 to Todd Schussler. It's incredible that you're going to beat the game in the amount of the time it took most of us to get past Frank if we were lucky. It's just a shame you skipped the mole cave and we don't get to see those Caleb ducks. Alas, breaking games for charity. What a time to be alive.
All right, so it's not this prayer, but the next prayer that causes a problem for us. And the different runners have different strategies for this, but none of them are, I want to say, reliable, good to use. One route requires, I hate using the term, but frame perfect input. The other route is the one I'll be doing, which is just mashing and hoping that the value I get at the end is on my table.
We have a $100 donation from Fangamer. Fangamer and Starman.net prayed for Aurilliux's safety.
Nice.
That's probably a perfect time for this.
And so here, I'm just going to mash as fast as I can because there are these NPCs moving around, changing the random number generator.
That's a nightmare, man.
While characters print on the screen at the same time, which also affects the random number generator. And so I'm looking at this damage, which is 738, which is a number I have on my table.
Very nice.
And so based on that, I'm going to do this. And hopefully everything works.
We hope.
Pray even.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we got through one round of Gygas here, not attacking us. Again, that's a 1 in 6 chance. So I'm not 100% confident that I'm actually on my table here. But if this prayer does 1,500 damage, I'll feel like 100% about it.
This is the 7th one, and then the next one, nothing actually happens. So we're very, very close to the end. Time's probably going to be coming up in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We have a $500 donation from Space Drake, donating in memory of Mr. Iwata, Mr. Yokoi, and all of those we lost long before we should have. Thank you for giving us these memories, Iwata, Yokoi, everyone. Thank you for inspiring the rest of us to do the very best we can. Meanwhile, I think Iwata would love all of these insane glitches. Magicking in 15 minutes? What a party. Make your own inner evil kill itself. Can't wait to see what else is coming. Fuzzy Pickle hype! Money goes towards 100% Chrono Trigger run and the Gato song.
Time is going to be coming up here in just a few seconds. As soon as Paula uses his prayer, you want to hit time?
Yes.
So this one actually, they're 2 lightning strikes, but they won't hit. And then it's time.
Yeah,
Good job,
man.
Alex.
It's kind of funny because whenever you're streaming this game, and Gygas uses like his final like attack or whatever, it really screws with the stream quality for whatever reason. And you guys might actually see that coming up.
Yeah, depending. I mean, you have to have a really high bit rate setting and a really good connection on the other side.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, so-
Twitch's nice codecs
Yeah,
to handle it.
This
here's
is
where
the
you
part.
might see it. I'm not sure. It happens every time with me. It's craziness. It's almost like Pokey in this game is like Sigma and Mega Man X. He's like, well, you beat me now. I'll see you in the next game.
And it is one of those, I don't know exactly what the time difference was between Earthbound and Mother 3, the sequel to this game, getting released, but he does make an appearance.
Yeah. So much static. It's crazy.
No, your stream isn't broken, guys.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so, the war against Gygas is over.
Yeah.
So that's Earthbound, guys. There's a little bit of end-of-game stuff here where you can go back and talk to all the NPCs that you would have talked to throughout the game. Eventually, you work your way back home and you can talk to your parents, and they'll go through the photo album of all the photos you took throughout the game. I didn't actually take any photos, so the game forces you to have one, though, so you'll just stare at one photo for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. If anybody's interested in learning this game, there is a wiki out there, and everybody streaming the game is just awesome people, absolutely amazing people.
Great community.
Yeah, it's a really good community, and It's not that hard to learn. I mean, while it is a lengthy run, I mean this one's not too bad. But Glitchless, the more prominent category, I would say, it's much longer. But if you guys have any interest in learning it, there's a big community out there. So
Yeah, I mean, if you ever have questions, feel free to drop by and ask me. I'm more than happy to try to answer them.
Absolutely.
Most of the Earthbound runners, I can't think of anybody who wouldn't try to help you out.
Yeah, that's why the community is so amazing. We're always open to new runners. We always get really excited when somebody else is like, "Oh, I want to pick up this game." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm going to teach you that." So we're always really happy to see that.
So I'll go ahead and walk it back into Ness's house here. Then once the credits are going, turn it over.
We have a $50 donation from Anonymous. First time watching SGDQ live. Decided to donate for my first time as well for a great cause during a great game. I have a I can't even say this word. Synodac acronym, $100. Spoilers, I haven't finished this game. What are you doing? My play experience has been ruined. Anyways, put this money towards 100% Luigi's Mansion run. Why not make the game a little harder for the runners? Earthbound Mansion hype.
Actually, the timing typically would end here, but the Japanese timing starts from power on, I believe, to the end of the. I believe it's whenever you say the end.
Yeah, the end of the credits,
Yeah,
basically.
but typically we use, it's called the SDA timing. It's what we use from game start, which is pretty much as you have all your characters named and everything, and you hit the
Hit
start.
start.
Yeah. So, and then we end at final prayer.
Yeah, once you start that final prayer where I hit time, the game will run itself. I can mash to make the text go faster, but
Yeah. The reason he teleports there is actually to avoid a photo, so that saves about 18 seconds.
yeah, if I get lucky there, I can actually skip Paula's text too, but that's all right.
Oh, you can go in the door instantly. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it all depends on how close that teleport spits you out to the door.
I see. Teleport, to say the least, is a very good ability. It's used like a lot of places in Glitchless.
Yeah.
It's super, super good. The effects are just like whenever you do a teleport, it removes all the sprites off the screen. So it removes like lag, and you always go at a set speed. And it's used actually primarily in deep darkness. You don't see that in this run, but in Glitchless, that's where you see it.
All right, so that's it, guys.
Very good run, man. Absolutely.
Great one.
This is Summer Games Done Quick. After this, you're going to have Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Runner is playing amazingly the first time watching SGDQ. You have made a fan for life, and what you're doing is great, helping out the gamer community. Keep it up. $50 from Fuzzy Fuzzio, Earthbound, Mr. Saturn Plush, Doctors Without Borders, how could I not give? Thanks to the runners and hosts of this event. As the Prince of Persia is getting ready and set up, I will be handing over my hosting into Antilles. This was Edobing, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Earthbound run. Also, don't forget to go to humblebundle.com. Pay what you want bundles that support the charity. Offer bundles for video games, mobile, ebooks, comics, and a whole lot more. Has raised over $61 million for charities such as Doctors Without Borders and many more.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Good? You guys are good. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2015. I am Darkman, and I am interviewing Aurilliux, who just completed our Earthbound run. And as always, we're taking questions on Twitter. So if you tweet out using the hashtag SGDQ2015, we'll see if we can take one of your questions, and hopefully Aurilliux will be able to answer. So, Aurilliux, first off, congratulations. You finished your run.
Thank you.
How did it go?
It was actually a pretty solid run for the most part until I made a little mistake during the Gygas fight there.
Okay.
It was actually really solid, probably one of my best attempts.
Excellent.
So,
nice.
I'm very happy.
Glad to
with
hear
it.
that. So, as I can see, this is your first time attending a GDQ, is that correct?
Yep.
So obviously first time, doing a run for in a GDQ. So, did you feel
any marathon?
Even any marathon. Oh wow! So even more nerves. Did you feel maybe any more pressure, or did you feel maybe that you had to deliver stronger, or did you any higher expectations maybe?
It's actually something I've always struggled with. I actually
Really?
have a fear of like public speaking and public performance, but it's always something that I've kind of tried to work to overcome.
Right.
So yeah, I was definitely nervous, but I've done similar stuff in the past.
Okay.
So I've gotten to where I can deal with it all right.
That's good. Good. This is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first RPG we've had at SGDQ so far. There are, of course, going to be some future RPG runs, but how do you feel about running an RPG versus maybe another type of speedrun? Do you feel like there's maybe more involved that you have to plan around, or do you feel like maybe there's some more elements that you have to deal with that you may not deal with? Does any of that maybe kind of help you or hurt you, or?
Yeah. Maybe one of the biggest differences between running an RPG and maybe running like a platformer, I have a lot of time to think about what exactly I need to do next. There's very little where I need to make one input, followed by another input, followed by another input.
Right.
But conversely, there isn't the same kind of rote repetition that I can really get away with. I can't just practice a level that I'm having a hard time with by doing a certain set of movements until I get it right. For the most part. I mean, there's some RNG manipulation in my run.
Just a bit.
But there's also having to figure out what exactly to do when stuff goes wrong.
Okay.
And I think that's maybe the big difference between running an RPG and other kinds of games.
Now, especially for Earthbound, it's this run in particular is kind of there's a lot of glitches involved with this one. Do you feel like that kind of excites you as a runner more, or do you feel like maybe you'd rather kind of take it to a run that's as not so much glitches? Like, how do you feel, like in general, about having a very glitchy run like this?
I mean, really, I enjoy playing the game both ways. If I didn't enjoy playing the game with a bunch of glitches, personally, then I wouldn't be doing it.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, I have split feelings on it. It's a little less accessible for new runners to try to get into, and that's part of this that I really enjoy, is trying to help new people learn how to run these games. But it's also much more accessible to try to run a game that's an hour and a half long versus 5.
Definitely, I can imagine that. So, I do have a question here from Twitter. So we have one question. How much of the Earthbound run is pure memorization, and how much do you have in the form of notes in front of you?
So in the form of notes in front of me, all I had was what I need to do in each combat for the RNG manipulation. So for the any percent route where you're manipulating a bunch, there is a lot of memorization and just a lot of rote repetition practice.
All right.
When you're doing a glitchless run and it's a single segment run, you can't do that manipulation the whole way through. There's a lot more learning what you need to do for a specific game, learning the game's mechanics, and when it's the right time to use certain abilities.
Definitely. Okay, well, I think that about wraps it up with us. Once again, congratulations, great run. Hopefully we look forward to seeing more from you in the future. Thank you very much, Aurilliux.
Hopefully. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. This is Summer Games Done Quick, for those of you who are just now tuning in. Summer Games Done Quick is a